Croeso pawb to the double discounts PSN sale. Just a bit of a warning for this sale, it's only good if you've got PS Plus. So if you don't have PS Plus, skip this sale completely. It's really not worth your time without it. And if you have PS Plus, don't be fooled by the name. A lot of these discounts are not the best, and they've been way cheaper in other sales. So just be aware, if the games aren't featured in this video, you may not want to buy them. But great news, I've gone through the sale and I found the best games to buy that are really cool games and they're at a really cheap price as well. So don't forget to subscribe if you like saving money and finding some really cool games to play as well. You're welcome here anytime. Okay, this sale ends on the 13th of September, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up, we have Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition. It was released in 2017, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 76% discount for the low price of £8.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal, as this edition includes all 6 expansions of Automatron, Wasteland Workshop, Far Harbor, Contraptions Workshop, Vault Tech Workshop, and Nuka World as well. So not only you get a massive AAA game with a ton of content, you get a huge amount of DLC as well, with even more content. So you can't ask for much more really. It's a great deal. In this first-person RPG, as the sole survivor of the nuclear bunker Vault 111, you emerge to a world destroyed by a nuclear war, and every second is a fight to survive as you try to rebuild civilization and guide the fate of the wasteland along the way. The Fallout games are pretty legendary at this point for their world building and the sheer expanse of the game area you get to play in. If you're a fan of RPGs, you've probably played these already, and if you haven't, they're amazing. I know the hype is huge, but they deserve it. They really do. They're such great games. So again, if you're a fan of RPGs and you haven't played this for some reason, this is a really good deal to pick it up with. So why not take a look at it? You'll love it, I promise. And hey, if you've never played an RPG before, then you should definitely check this out. It may not be the cheapest price around for a game, but it includes so much content, and it's a legendary game that you'll love it, you really will. If you've ever been tempted to try an RPG like this is one of the best around, so why not start here? More than likely you'll love it, but just don't be surprised if not every game in this genre lives up to this level of quality. Take a look. We have an RTS next, Frostpunk Complete Collection. It was released in 2021, so it's only 2 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £7.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal, as this collection includes the Season Pass of all 3 expansions, The Last Autumn, On the Edge, and The Rifts, so you're getting a really good RTS game with all of the content included for the complete experience, which is not only a lot of content, it's really good content as well, making it a great value collection. In this RTS, you get to build the last city on Earth in a frozen wasteland where heat means life and every decision comes at a price. Only the right balance of survival and empathy will ensure the survival of the human race, with the limited resources remaining available to you. I've always liked the look of this game ever since I've seen it get released. I like RTS games, and the theme and story of this game really intrigues me, especially as it doesn't lay it all out for you, and it's up to you to explore the wasteland to find out what happened, while also ensuring the survival of humanity. You know, just the basics. So if you're a fan of RTS, and you're looking for something a bit different, I would definitely check this out. It's a really good game with a ton of content at a really good price. You can't go far wrong if you like RTS games. Definitely take a look at it. And hey, if you've never played an RTS before, then this game is a bit different, but it also looks really good, and it comes with a ton of extra content. So if you've always wanted to try an RTS, this may be a bit different to the more normal ones, but hey, it looks really good, and I would definitely recommend taking a look at it. If you like the idea of it as much as me, it might just hook you, and you'll find your new favourite genre as well. So why not take a look at it if you're interested. Lost in Random is our next game. It was released in 2021, so it's only 2 years old, and it's on an 84% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal for a really cool looking indie game. And this version even includes the PS4 and PS5 version, so you're getting the best version of the game wherever you buy it. In this game, the world of Random is ruled by the Evil Queen and her cursed black dice, where you play as Even, a penniless girl who teams up with a living dice to try and rescue her sister from the Evil Queen before it's too late. I can't believe I've never heard of this game before. The art style looks amazing. It looks like a really cool animated Tim Burton style. It's beautiful and intriguing. It just makes me want to play it looking at it. Seriously, take a look at our trailer if you haven't heard of this game before. It deserves praise for that alone. But apart from that, it's got really good reviews, and it looks like a really solid adventure game, with some unique mechanics as well. It's got a card system and a gambling theme with the dice that plays into the gameplay. It's really different, it's really unique, it looks really awesome. If you like adventure games, definitely check this out, especially if you haven't heard of it. I bet you'll thank me for it afterwards. And hey, if you haven't played an adventure game before, this is a really unique and different one to start with, and it's not a bad place to start either. It looks really cool, my gut feeling says it's awesome. If you want to try an adventure game, definitely check this one out. It looks well worth your time and money. One of my favourite game series next, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It was released in 2021, so it's 2 years old, but the games are older than that really, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of $11.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and an absolutely fantastic deal for 3 AAA games of this quality, and a huge amount of extra content as well, as not only do you get all 3 games that are remastered and optimized for 4K UHD, you also get over 40 DLCs and extras included for the complete package, which is a massive amount of content and a really great deal. It's fantastic. In this trilogy of legendary RPGs, you get to create and customize your own Commander Shepard, the only person who stands between humanity and its greatest ever threat, as you lead your crew across the galaxy in turmoil. It features story choices that affect how the story unfolds, which makes every playthrough different and makes the game really interesting to play. This series was made by the Dragon Age developers, and Dragon Age Origins was my favourite RPG I've ever played, and that's basically the same thing, but in space, so there's no complaints, right? I'm dying to play this myself, I can't wait to get around to playing them. If you like RPGs or sci-fi games, or just games with great story, you should definitely check these out. They're amazing, and well worth your time and money. And hey, if you've never played an RPG before, these 3 are amazing, but I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here, because you're buying a ton of content and a load of gameplay. So if you don't like them, you've got a lot of games that you're not going to play. Although if you're really interested, take a chance because they are amazing. But if you're not sure, there's plenty more RPGs you can get cheaper than this, and just as good quality as well. So don't worry, there's plenty of options. Subscribe, and I'll help you find another one in another sale. Next up is One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2020, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 84% discount for the price of £11.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition includes 9 additional characters, and the Sherlock Katakuri early unlock bonus as well, so you're getting the complete version of the game, with some extra content included as well, which is great. This third-person action game is set in the original One Piece story arc in Wano Country, where you get to gather up the Straw Hat crew, and take on a host of dangerous foes and thousands of enemies from the show. This is basically a themed Dynasty Warriors clone, which is great news because I love those games and they're really good. And for anyone that don't know what they are, imagine being in massive battles as a super soldier running around destroying hundreds of soldiers in melee combat. Yeah, it's as cool as it sounds. They're great games. This is a really good themed one of it. So if you like Dynasty Warrior games, hack and slash games, action games, or you're just a big One Piece fan, then definitely take a look at this, you'll really enjoy it. And hey, if you've never played a hack and slash game like this before, the Dynasty Warriors series is brilliant. I love them, and you can get them pretty cheap sometimes, so I wouldn't recommend this one necessarily, but hey, if you're a big One Piece fan, go for it, you'll love it. Up next is my star by Sega Mega Drive Classics. It was released in 2018, so it's 5 years old, but the games are much older than that really, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of $4.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and an absolute steal for the amount of games you get in this collection. They may be old, but a lot of them are legendary, and they paved the way for games as they are today, so don't count them out. This collection includes 53 of the best Mega Drive games ever made, including Sonic 1, 2, and 3D Blast, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, Shinobi 3, Ristar, Story of Thor, Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4, Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3, Kid Chameleon, Columns 1 and 2, Alex Kidd, Alien Storm, and more. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't include Sonic 3, that's a bit of a misstep. From what I understand, they wanted to keep that for one of the modern packages that included it as a bonus, which is a bit of a shame really because it deserves to be in this collection. Either way, if you like 2D games, or you're a fan of platformers, RPGs, beat-em-ups especially, there's a ton of amazing games here. I mean, Sonic 1 and 2 are 2 of the best Sonic games ever made. Streets of Rage is one of the best beat-em-up series ever made, and you get all 3 games included in this. Shinobi is a legendary ninja game that I remember playing as a kid, and that's brilliant. Ristar, most people haven't heard of it. It was made by the Sonic the Hedgehog team right at the end of the Mega Drive era, and it was amazing. It's one of my favourite games, even till today. It's equally as good as Sonic, which is massive praise. Story of Thor is one of my favourite RPGs, and most people didn't even speak about it either. If you like Zelda on the Nintendo consoles, then you should play this because it's really good. The graphics are brilliant, and it's a really cool game. Golden Axe 1, 2 and 3, another legendary beat-em-up series. Phantasy Star 2, 3 and 4, legendary RPG series. Kid Chameleon, legendary indie platforming game. Columns 1 and 2, Sega's version of Tetris, and they're really good. Alex Kidd, not as popular over here, but a huge game in the East, and they're really good as well. Alien Storm, another brilliant beat-em-up. Basically, if you like old school games, or 2D games in general, pick this up. There'll be at least 5 or 10 games that you will love in this, no matter what games you like. And in all seriousness, where else are you going to get games for less than 10 pence each? That's ridiculous. It's an amazing deal. It's my star buy. They're well worth playing. Definitely check these out. And hey, if you never played these old games, then you're doing something wrong in your life. Pick this up now and have a ton of fun. They're amazing and they're really good games. Definitely check them out, whatever you think about them. And the final game I have for you is Star Wars Squadrons. It was released in 2020, so it's 3 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £3.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a dirt cheap price for such an amazing AAA game, especially as this game is fully playable in VR as well. Seriously, if you have a PSVR 1 headset and you like Star Wars or fighter plane games, you owe yourself to pick this game up right now. It's absolutely amazing value if that's your situation. In this fighter plane game, you get to pilot both Empire and Rebellion ships, in a story told from both sides of the war, as an Empire pilot tries to defect and join the Rebellion. It features online 20-player multiplayer, new multiplayer custom matches, B-Wings and TIE Fighter Defender ships added recently, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see that they added some extra content after the release for free. When do you see that these days? I own this game, and I've played most of it, and I absolutely love it. Not only is it one of the best VR fighter pilot games around, but it's also one of the best Star Wars games as well. Definitely take a look at this game. If you like any of what I've said, you won't regret it, I promise. And hey, if you've never played a fireplane game before, then this is a really good one at such a cheap price that it's an amazing place to start. Basically, only don't pick it up if you don't like Star Wars, or you're not interested in this genre at all. But otherwise, definitely check it out. It's a really amazing game at an amazing price. And that's all the games I have for the Double Discounts PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it? Or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your complaints down in the comments, and we can talk about it later. I hope you guys found some games you're interested in, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Au revoir.